Hi everyone. Well, I'm going to go over a little bit of news. First, Takeru Kobayashi has been known as one of the greatest eating champions in the world. He's been eating he's most famous for Nate's hot dogs, which I don't remember what Nate's hot dogs look like. I'm sure it looks like a normal hot dog. But these hot dogs, there's a competition at Coney Island that they have, and he usually wins. But lately, the past 4 years or so, maybe more than that, he hasn't been winning. But still, he eats a ridiculous amount of food, and it's just insane. He had the world record for 13 grilled cheeses. So think how many grilled cheeses that is, and how fast can you eat those grilled cheeses? He ate those grilled cheeses in a minute. So 13 grilled cheeses in 1 minute, and the way he does it, he expands his stomach to a large amount beforehand, and then he works it off and burns it off. This guy is, if you can imagine, this Japanese guy, weighs 128 pounds. Most recently 135 pounds, but he's usually between like 130 pounds and 135, somewhere around there. But yeah, he can eat an amazing amount of food in a very short amount of time, and it's crazy. It's disgusting, crazy. If you consume red meat, and there was a study done recently by Harvard, and Harvard has concluded that eating red meat will increase your chance of getting cancer, diabetes, and heart disease by 20%. So that's any kind of red meat. And if you eat unprocessed meat, it only increases by 13%. So if you eat like turkey that's unprocessed, it's like 13%. But if you eat something like, I don't know, pepperoni, like I do, then you go around about 20%. And this is for a daily diet, so if you eat 1 serving per day, it increases your chance of getting these diseases by 20%. These are slow dying, slow deaths. These are not the quick deaths that you just drop dead from a heart attack. This is the long death of heart disease and cancer. So you don't really want these. What they recommend to avoid this is maybe reduce your servings about 3 times a week. Additionally, stay with foods that are protein-based, but not red meat. So it's chicken, fish, nuts. If you eat a lot of chicken, that's probably the easiest way to do it. Just eat a lot of chicken instead of steak and pork. That's pretty much my suggestion to you, and that's what they suggest. And just so that you know that they did the study for 120,000 people across 28 years. So this is not a small sample size, and this isn't just the most recent 5 years. It's a 28-year study, and it's from Harvard. Give them some props. I've been reading a lot of the USA Today. USA Today is probably the worst written, no, that's not true, but it's one of the worst written national publications out there. If you are writing for a newspaper, I would assume that you know how to write and your editor is doing a good job checking the mistakes. For the past 3 weeks, I've been reading it through, and I've caught 4 mistakes. And this is grammatical mistakes, either usage problems, or they just don't know how to, type. They just, double does, things like that. So something I caught yesterday is the word wither. Wither with an H is one that's not really used in the English language currently. The wither that you're looking for, so something like it's drying out and it's falling and becoming flimsy, losing strength, then it's wither without an H. The wither that they used in the newspaper is with an H. With an H means to where. It's not used in the English language. So to where are we going? That's what you would say. So where are you going to? Because you don't end with to, you start with to. So to where are we going? So you would say instead, whither are we going? Again, no one says, whither are we going? Like, no one says that. But again, this newspaper published the usage whither with an H when they meant the I, and yeah, USA Today is junk. In the 1930s, there was something called the St. Valentine's Day Massacre. So this was a dispute covered by Al Capone and Bugs Moran. So against 2 big gangsters, Al Capone hired a couple of guys dressed like police officers, round up Bugs Moran's gang, about 7 guys, and then just killed them flat out on St. Valentine's Day. And it was known as the St. Valentine's Day Massacre. The thing was, 6 of them died right there, and then one of the guys was taken to the hospital and died 3 hours later. But the thing is, the police questioned him, saying, "Who shot you?" Now this guy had 14 bullet wounds in him. So this is a Bugs Moran guy shot by Al Capone's guy. And this guy who's on his deathbed in the hospital with the police around him, with 14 bullet holes in his body, says, "Nobody shot me." So it's one of those old things that, you don't snitch, even if you're dying. And anyway, it was really weird, but really interesting for me about the mob culture that was so strong during Prohibition. And then shortly after that, when we had the Great Depression, then Prohibition was lifted. So interesting. So the last bit of news is a new app that's going to be coming out, I don't know when, within the year. It's called Highlight, and another company called Gangsters. So this is two different apps, but they do the same thing. They're competitors. What it's going to do is on this app, you can tell what you like and what you dislike. It's very similar to Facebook. Like let's say you like cooking and you like the Mets, and then you also like little puppies. Let's just say you like these things. What happens is this app is going to walk around with you on your phone, and it's going to talk with other phones around you, and it'll basically, if you're sitting like in a, let's say a cafe, you're sitting there just doing your own thing, it will then tell you, over there, that woman holding that cup of coffee also likes small puppies, also likes the Mets, and then maybe lines up like 4 other things that you have interest in. That way you can spark a conversation. You can go over and say, wow, I figured that you also like these things, let's talk. So it's nice for especially people who don't have similar interests as you, just have a sparking conversation. For me, I think it's really interesting, especially if you have like a niche interest. For example, if you only like Magic the Gathering, and I want to find a girl that likes Magic the Gathering. Let's just say that as an example. Then I could just have that on my app, and then my app would say, that person also likes Magic the Gathering, and they happen to be a girl. You might want to talk to them. So, anyway, just some cool things around there, and I will catch you later.